There's something strange about money that nobody ever wants to admit. Some of the smartest people, people with degrees, great jobs, good logic, still make money decisions that make absolutely no sense. They overspend, undersave, buy things they regret, delay important choices, and sometimes sabotage their own goals, even when they know better. So the real question isn't, why don't people understand money? The real question is, why does intelligence fail when emotions enter the picture? And here's the part that might surprise you. Smart people aren't bad with money because they're careless. They're bad with money because their brains are wired to prioritize survival over mathematics, emotions over logic, and short-term comfort over long-term security. Once you understand that wiring, everything suddenly makes sense. Let's start with something that affects almost everyone, but quietly, overconfidence bias. Smart people are more likely to trust their own judgment, even when that judgment is flawed. Behavioral economists at the University of Chicago found that high-performing individuals consistently overestimate their ability to predict financial outcomes, meaning they think they're too smart to make the same mistakes everyone else makes, and that belief is the mistake. But that's just the beginning. There's a hidden force called emotional reasoning, where emotions shape decisions before logic even gets a chance. You've seen this happen. A smart person buys something expensive after a stressful leak. They justify it with logic, but the decision was emotional long before the logic arrived. The brain works like this. Emotion acts first. Logic explains it afterwards. This isn't a flaw. It's how the brain has evolved. Neuroscientists from Harvard show that emotional regions of the brain activate milliseconds before rational ones during decision-making. By the time logic steps in, the emotional vote has already won. But let's shift the angle for a second, because another psychological trap hits smart people even harder: analysis paralysis. Smart people think more. Thinking more leads to more options. More options lead to indecision, and indecision leads to missed opportunities. Behavioral science calls this the choice overload effect. The more capable someone is of analyzing information, the more likely they are to freeze when faced with too many financial choices: investments, savings, insurance, budgeting. Suddenly, doing nothing feels safer than choosing wrong. But we're not done. There's something even deeper and more surprising: present bias. Even intelligent people struggle to prioritize future rewards over immediate comfort. This isn't stupidity, it's biology. The brain values short-term dopamine far more than future benefits, because long-term rewards didn't help our ancestors survive danger. This is why a smart person might know investing early is critical, and still choose a night out, a gadget, or a quick emotional purchase instead. And now comes a twist that most people never see coming. Smart people rationalize their mistakes better. Not only do they make emotional decisions, but they're talented at creating convincing explanations for them. They don't say, "I messed up." They say, "This was actually a strategic choice," even when it wasn't. Their intelligence becomes a shield protecting the behavior that hurts them. But here's the hopeful part. Once you understand why your brain makes dumb money decisions, you can override those instincts. Awareness breaks the loops. Emotion stops driving the wheel. Logic finally gets space to influence your choices. Because smart people don't fail with money for lack of knowledge. They fail because they've never learned how to manage the psychology behind their decisions. And that's the part you're finally starting to control.